twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocky thread glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I'm waiting for my time to come back in and sing. Here we go. And the rockets red gray, the bombs bursting in air, give proof through the night that our flag was still there. Everybody sing with me. Say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free. I just broke my mic. And the home of, I am the talent, brave. This is the Third Crochet Show. Welcome to the revolution. What's up, guys? I just ruined my mic. Hold on. I just freaking ruined my Bravo. Thank you. Thank you. Check. Okay. Why do you guys think I'm late a couple minutes every night? Because I am warming up this voice. You know what I mean? Don't forget to drink your Zima. Zima, not sponsored, but part of the show. If you're not breaking your mic, you don't love America. Amen. Chords on Rumble. What's going on, my dude? Brendan, how we feeling? How we doing, Papa? How we doing? How we feeling? Hope you guys are doing great this freaking Monday as we get into so much what's going on in the news. Who wrote that? Who the frick wrote that? This is not even funny. Who wrote that? Okay, I get that I'm wearing freaking flannel right now, but you don't have to go into... It's racist. Oh, yeah, you're right. I did write that, you son of a gun. I'm coming for that stash, Derek. Your Zima hoarding days are never good. Dude, come get my Zima. You could pry it off my cold, dead fingers. Dude, you wore this shirt today? Good. I just wrote Fat Walsh because I'm wearing a flannel and my beard is starting to come through. You're going to have so much Matt Walsh energy on my show from now on. You're not going to know what to do with yourself. You're going to be so triggered. And I'm going to be like poning noobs all day. No Shave November. Yes. I always do No Shave November and Mustache Mayhem. Is anybody with me? You have a mustache for the entire month of May. I don't know if my job will let me do it, but that's That's a nice plaid shirt there. You look like a bassist for Nirvana cover band. Yes. With the backwards hat. It's a very 90s vibe day. Oh, we have so much going through the news. Let's start with this story. I saw this story being posted, and I thought this is just the Fat Walsh show. Oh, Derek O'Shea show. I can dig it. Thanks. Thank you. It's Fat Walsh. Even though I'm not fat, I'm freaking yoked. I saw this on the news. Blue states have worse inequality than red ones. New census data shows. Is anybody in the chat surprised by this? If you say no, then you're smart. What are the official rules for No Shave November? Are you allowed to trim your beard for said pledge? No. You're not allowed to trim anything. And I mean anything. The more liberal the state is, the more likely it is to be home to income inequality, according to Daily Mail analysis, a newly released census data. New York, Connecticut, California are the biggest gulf between the rich and the poor, according to the Census Bureau yardstick called the Gini Index, that measures how far from perfect equality, which is closer to Utah, Indiana, South Dakota, had the least inequality. Freaking hilarious. Of course. So no trimming my arm hair then? No trimming your arm hair. Damaged goods. Although liberals prioritize, but I just thought like hilarious that this census data shows that actually some of the most red states have the least amount of inequality in comparison. But of course that's true. Have you ever been to California? California is such a crap hole. Like, and I feel bad for people that live there, but like, it's such a drastic difference between the mega rich and the poorest of poor. Considering California is one of the most profoundly racist places I've ever seen. Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Every time I've gone there, I've seen more racism. I've just been a part of more racism than I've ever seen. Unless someone is keeping tabs on your body hair length, you'll go with what you feel. Exactly. Okay, yeah. Yeah, the whole, like, attacking Asians right now. No one wants to talk about what race is actually attacking Asians. Where's Richie? Throwback from last night. Shout out to the Gingers. Welcome to the red Oiletion. What? Got that Mike Tyson weed from the dispensary? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me know how that is. All right, so I saw that being pushed, but we have so much more to go. So I also yesterday I did a whole podcast on the whole PayPal controversy and their accidental disclosure. And I don't know if you guys noticed today, but PayPal is down $6 billion due to my video. Delete PayPal searches soar 130% after Daily Wire report exposes misinformation policy. Hilarious. This is one of the few times that the conservatives are winning the argument or pressured a company to admit fault, admit wrong. It's kind of good to see. Also, I don't know if you've been tracking what's going on with Vanderbilt in Tennessee, where the gender-affirming care and stuff like that the Daily Wire has been exposing. They have today recanted and said they're going to pause their gender-affirming care in their hospitals, a.k.a. mutilations and stuff like that, and pushing hormones. This is a new world. I mean, that is a white pill moment if I've ever heard one. Because that's incredible. Incredible that like conservatives and just this is what happens when you just expose the truth though, and don't allow these people to hide in the shadows, and you push them to not only just expose them, but defend what they believe in, which is just like crazy but it makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, it makes sense that they would want to hide this information from the general public because it's insane. Any normal person would look at what's going on at Vanderbilt and say, hey, you know what? As long as they're not a sycophant or part of the left religion, they're going to disagree with it because they're a logical thinking human being, period. Imagine owning a stock company that tanked because of error. Yeah, error. Thank you for putting in quotation marks Papa. Did you hear about the Chinese setting up actual government police stations with the U.S.? Haven't done much into, I've kind of heard like whispers of that, but I haven't really seen much serious journalism when it comes to that. I've just seen people posting stuff. What the F is with NYC? I heard New York City is also like California. Tim, I love your farts more than Beanie. Tim, I love my farts more than my Beanie Pool did a report a few weeks ago. Can't say I'm surprised. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. But good news. Due to the booming economy and everything that's going on, we have companies now adding fees to what you're buying online.
Yeah, so call it feeflation or call it drip pricing. If you've eaten out at a restaurant or hailed a ride or even looked at your credit card statements lately, you may have noticed a few extra added charges. Now, customers have complained that restaurant bills, food delivery, ride sharing, and credit card statements are much more expensive these days. And that's because instead of outright raising prices to cover higher costs, businesses are charging you a little more in added fees to cover rising inflation and wages. Probably most notable on your restaurant check, with restaurants accused of serving up those airline-style fees, where your final bill might actually be 30 to 40% higher if you add up the 20% mandatory tips, the extra percentage charges on top for healthcare taxes to cover workers, state sales taxes, even wellness fees or macroeconomic surcharges.
Oh, dude, Vegas has been doing that for forever. I remember like seeing all the hotel prices in Vegas and like, oh, that's pretty cheap. I'm going to book that. Oh, resort fees.
As restaurants cover perks to attract workers. Now, we know that inflation is still near 40-year highs. The jobs market is still tight, with restaurants and hospitality adding workers last month, and prices are forecast to jump another 8% plus from last year in September. And that data due out on Thursday morning. And Sandra, that's a slight cool down from August, but still, as you know, historically high.
That's just like crazy. Like I don't know if you guys have been following, like Biden has been tweeting up a storm about how great the economy is right now. He's constantly pushing this idea that the economy is roaring due to the fact that people are working. And I just kept posting like, yeah, thanks to Joe Biden, I've had to pick up a second job because the economy is booming. But the good news is that we're not in recession yet. Yeah, exactly. And no mean tweets. There are still people arguing to say that we're not in a recession. Like, who are these freaking people? Who are these people? Oh, by the way, guys, just a reminder for the rest of this is my last stream for the week. The rest of the week, I will be on vacation. So this is it. So get everything you need to say. And also, if you want to call me and leave me a message that I will put, oh, Censor Mom, what's up? If you want to call me, leave me a message, and I will, the next Sunday show, we will go through your messages. And I got a message from a couple of you, and a couple of you are in the chat. So feel free to call that number, 872-240-2407. And I will do a live, a call-in show as well on that Sunday. So, and we'll see how it goes. Just don't call and get me canceled. The economy is so great that I had to sell my second-born child to the black market for food, which is weird because I have no children. Good. Sell them all. It's important. We can't afford to go. We can't afford to go on vacation. I'm not necessarily going on vacation. I just have a bunch of family coming in town that I'm going to hang out with. So I am personally not going on vacation. I am being a guest, and there's going to be a lot of people around me, and I can't do a live stream because, well, some of them are liberal. Also, I don't know if you guys been make a family vlog. I don't like to put like any of my family online. They're all very like scared of being canceled. So I don't know about making a family vlog. They're all like, no, but it would be fun though. Maybe I'll ask them. See if they're down for that. All right. But I don't know if you guys also noticed the Florida Surgeon General was censored and suspended on TikTok for announcing what he believes to be true regarding the vaccine and the age groups that should take it and probably shouldn't take it based on the new data that's coming out, which is incredible as we are slowly seeing more and more. And I'm not saying this. This is what he said, and that's what he got censored for. So he went on this man's show who's looking good as ever.
Suck on this, Biden.
Okay, here he is. I want to hear what this Florida Surgeon General has to say. Do a libtard rant discussion. No, they don't talk politics with me because they're very emotional based.
Dr. Ladapo, did the senior management of Twitter, did any of these social media oligarchs look you down? Did anybody reach out to you and ask you for the backup analytics? They ask you about your study, to ask you about anything before they took you down, sir?
Surely they didn't reach out to me personally. I guess in theory, maybe they reached out to the office, but I've heard no such thing. But this whole, it is really almost criminal, really, in terms of how much disregard that they have for human rights. And I'm not talking just about Twitter, but this whole body that thinks it's...
Did I say TikTok? I meant Twitter. Twitter censored him. I thought that was nothing. Yeah. Twitter censored this man because he's a doctor.
Okay.
And your woke gender studies major who works customer service at Twitter knows more than this man. Everyone knows that.
Pay to crush the voices of others because you don't like their message. Here's a message this is not a message that is in our interests or in someone else's interest.
That's awesome, Censor Mom.
This is a message in terms of the data, the information.
Find it, fix it, what's good, what's going on.
That we were providing. It's a message for people, for humanity, so that people can make informed decisions. You want to do more research? Terrific. You think you've already seen enough evidence and you think our methods are persuasive to you, that you believe that
this guy is the Florida Surgeon General.
Our results are correct? Terrific. Like humans, people get to make those choices, but this body of tech and other forces that come in and silence people, they don't think human beings have the right to have free access to information that they don't want them to have access to. So it's Twitter, yes, but it's a huge deal.
I mean, that's just insane. The idea that this man will get said, like, this is not okay. Censoring is not progression. It's the opposite of progression. Wilson, we just improved 500,000 towards Corona. I know, with Peter Daszak and Eco Health. Our tax dollars have been hard at work for the past couple of years. Ukraine won the effing lottery and being invaded. I've heard that. So I've heard this other idea about Ukraine is that it's possibly due to the lithium deposits that are in Ukraine, and we're going to need them for our green energy push, and that's why there was a lot of lithium in Afghanistan as well, and so we decided to get out of Afghanistan. And now we're all about Ukraine. It's always something. Oil. It's always energy. We can't just do it here. Artisan unclean. How's it going? It's obvious that the doctor doesn't have a copy of the Trapper Keeper. It's my Trapper Keeper. Surgeon General, Florida. Yes. Free speech. No censorship. I genuinely wish that the internet and that we would just go back to allowing free reign. I mean, obviously you can't call for violence because you can't do that in freaking real life. But no one's like, especially when it comes to science. I thought we were like smart enough to know that censoring speech for science is not a good thing. We should allow everything to be questioned and pushed to give like good reasoning for your hypothesis. I mean, isn't that what science is supposed to be about? We're supposed to celebrate if you come to a conclusion, if you have breaking technology, if you have breaking medical science, you should want people to question you, because then you might learn something, or confirm that, yes, what you have come to find out is that you're correct, or that maybe you just missed a little something, and then your conclusion becomes even stronger. I mean, where is those people? The board of Twitter are a bunch of woke generals, which essentially is good for having a few decades worth of medical expertise. Yeah, exactly. Classic. This is the part of the global takeover censor. Of course. Yes. Because speaking of the global takeover, so the Army Secretary Christine Warmuth came out and said this: "We get criticized, frankly, sometimes for being woke. I'm not sure what woke means." Really? Don't you love that these people are just so quick to lie about what these words means? Here she goes.
And one more thing, Haley, I would emphasize is I think more broadly, in terms of, soldiers coming from marginalized communities, or, demographics that are not widely represented in the Army, that's part of why we've got to emphasize positive command climates and inclusion. We get criticized, frankly, sometimes for being woke. I'm not sure what woke means. I think woke means a lot of different things to different people. But first of all, I would say if woke means, we are not focused on warfighting, we are not focused on readiness, that doesn't reflect what I see at installations all around the country or overseas when I go and visit. But I think, we do have a wide range of soldiers in our Army, and we've got to make them all feel included. And that's why a lot of our diversity, equity, and inclusion programs are important.
Okay, so you do know what those... Oh, so you do know what that word is. Amazing. How could you call yourself a professional or call yourself the Army Secretary if you have no idea? This is what these people do. Like, they push back and they're like, I have no idea what this word means. These right-wing extremists are just making up stuff to attack us. What we have going on is great things, and to even question the readiness and the amazingness of our military is to question God himself. How dare you? How dare you? These people are liars. I mean, there are so many people that would not see these people as liars, though. That's what's so insane about this. Go woke, go broke. Yeah, exactly. That's why no one wants to go into the military right now, because of how woke they are and how they push for forced vaccinations and stuff like that. Woke means that you're fighting against racism so hard you forget the proper grammar. Yeah, exactly. Well, wake up, don't go. Yeah, toke the blueberry cut. Is that what's going on? Hey, can you run over on the damn battlefield with the purple and pink camouflage? The fact that our military will have days where they put an LGBTQ flag instead of the American flag, it just shows you, like, our military isn't going to put up a Christian flag for Christmas. They're not going to have a baby Jesus in a manger for Christmas. So it tells you what side or what they're going for. This idea that they have, like, these people, there are people in the world that actually believe these people aren't lying, and that I'm the crazy one for saying she knows exactly what the word woke means. And if she doesn't, she should be without a job. It'd be like me pushing insane rhetoric or like KKK rhetoric, and then I'm like, what? I don't know what that is. What's white supremacy? Well, I'm just saying that white people are the best. Like, what the frick, dude? Clip that. Take me out of context. Praise God. God. These people. We are living in a Orwellian day. I'm so thankful for that, though. I'm learning so much. But that's why I want to be in the Army. I want my troopers to be more worried about fighting racism than our enemies. Exactly. Doesn't woke mean fat lip is a fat lip is in your new future? Oh, sorry. The Zima is really kicking in. I saw a billboard on the freeway for the Marines last month that said Marines, a place to belong. Stop. Come on. Our Marines? That's literally the most depressing thing I've ever heard in my life. This wokeness started in the military during the Obama administration. Most of the reason why I didn't re-enlist. Well, I didn't, like some of those things, like I didn't even think about during like Obama as much because I didn't care about politics that time. I cared a little bit, but I didn't care as much as I do in today's world because more stuff is coming out of my pocket. That was when I was still getting tax refunds. This wokeness started in the, okay, sorry. John Scott, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for laughing. Brennan is zing. Brennan, are you so high you're out right now? I shit you not, Derek. That's crazy. The few, the proud seems too MAGA, I guess. Yes. Dude, that's depressing. Why is that like I can understand maybe our Navy or Air Force or something, but the Marines, the most hardcore group, they're the ones, a place to belong. We're the Marines, where everyone is seen as everyone. So come on down, we're accepting. And if you don't make it through basic or you're too fat, if you're fat Walsh, you're welcome here. We're the Marines. The United States Marines, where you can be yourself. The few American, God forbid our soldiers are fanatical patriots. Oh my God. You need fanatical patriots to be in the military because you ask the military to do things that a normal human being would look at them and go, I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that crap. Are you kidding me? You want me to do what? You want me to wake up at what time? No. You need them to care about them, like America. You need them to be all about America. Be all that you can be. You need, that's what keeps you going when they tell you to go, you know what? I know you just moved all those 300-pound bricks on to the right. I want you to move. We actually need you to move them to the left because command is saying so. And then they're like, okay, I guess I just follow orders. But you need those people. You can't just have Jenny from the block. Don't worry. If you have a 5th grade reading level, our code of contact is now available as picture book. Oh my God. That is literally the most depressing thought. God. I feel like that's an Army thing. No offense. I took the ASVAB. I scored so high. I could do whatever I want. That test is so easy. Did you watch Trump's speeches yesterday? I did not. I watched like 10 seconds of it. We were watching it a little bit on this show. But it's starting to get a little repetitive for a lot of stuff that he's saying. So I feel like I know what he's going to say before he says it. I just want to know, I'm still curious, what is Trump doing right now? Is his mission to talk about himself or talk about the people that are actually running right now? I don't get it, but I understand. If you're excited to go see him, you're excited to see him. Wilson says, if you want to have a soul by the time you join a combat unit, they'll get rid of it for you. Well, not anymore, Wilson. Now is the time to find out who you are. Come to the Marines. Be a part of the Army. Be a part of the Air Force to find yourself. Okay? Now is the time to find yourself, right before war. I'm Jenny from the Burbs. I'm just Jenny from the Burbs. I could serve neurological problems. I couldn't serve neurological problems. Yeah, you watch the show, Papa. Everyone does that. You have neurological problems. If you enjoy my show, you have problems. And you should probably see somebody. That reminds me, it's Mental Health Awareness Day, and you need to make sure you go see somebody. Because I also have problems. Soccer moms and minifans. Join the Army. Make your lesbian moms proud. Oh my God. Kaylon, what's good, man? How you doing? Make your that. Are you talking about that lesbian moms commercial? Oh, that was. It's fine. It's fine, but it's also not fine. You know what I mean? It's like that's always my problem. It's like the fact that they just pander to those people. They don't actually care about the LGBTQ community. They're just like, I think this is a part of what we're supposed to be about. And you're just like, are you freaking children? Wake up. You're encouraging something that you don't want, a road you don't want to go down. AKA, check how the recruitments are going currently. Join the army. Go fight a proxy war in Russia via drone. Yes. My mom is a proud hairy lesbian. Wait, kinda? Wait, what is she? I mean, hey, she's welcome here. I mean, tell about the Derek O'Shea show. I don't discriminate. I don't care. You can be whatever you want. As long as you're an adult. The funny part of the commercial was that the woman was a college graduate, but she had the rank of corporal. How's that even possible? Ish. Your mom is lesbian-ish? Is she... Wait, what? Wait, how is she lesbian-ish? She drive a Subaru? She wear flannel like me. She wear flannel, drive a Subaru, and I don't know. I don't really know the lesbian culture that well, obviously. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just don't have the same culture. Okay. We just watched a video on our Army Secretary Christine Worma talk about, I have no idea what the wokeness is. Let's be honest. I have no idea what wokeness is. And this is her then going into saying, one of the things I think is most important, ... is keeping the army apolitical and keeping it out of the culture wars. You are not, we are living in insane times, all right? We are living in ridiculous times. Okay, here we go. You think I'm making this up? I'm not. Ready?
The Fort Hood report faulted multiple general officers for seeding the social media space in the wake of the Vanessa Guillen death. However, the IG report that we've obtained about Pat Donahoe, where his retirement is now delayed and he's pending disposition, says that his tweets when he was responding to Tucker Carlson's comments about women in the Army and in the military cast the Army in a negative light. Where is the middle ground where you want your senior leaders to exist and engage on social media? You have folks who are getting hammered for not doing it and folks who are getting hammered for seizing it and doing it to, the greatest extent that they think appropriate. What do you want your next round of general officers to do with regards to social media engagement?
I think, Davis, the key with social media, it's a really important, obviously, information tool. But the key for senior leaders in an environment that is as politicized, unfortunately, as the one that we're all operating is to exercise good judgment. One of the things I think that's most important to General McConville and I is keeping the Army apolitical and keeping it out of the culture wars. Because frankly...
Well, I'm sorry, but this is like the most insane statement. Tell me you have no idea what you look like and sound like, or what you represent without telling me you have no idea what's going on in the world today. Like, what? Our job is to be apolitical and stay out of the culture wars? No. You are engaging in the culture wars, and being political is like the... It's like sometimes you talk to people that will talk about like politics or things that are going on in the culture, and then they pretend like they're like, hey, I don't like politics, like I don't want to engage in politics, but blank blank blank, and you're like, you are engaging in politics. You are not being apolitical. You are being political. I feel like I want to hear this again.
Is keeping the Army apolitical and keeping it out of the culture wars. Because frankly, we have got to be able to have a broad appeal. When only 9% of kids are interested in serving.
Yeah, why is that? Why are only 9% of kids interested in serving? Is it because what you're promoting right now? Are you promoting be all you can be right now? Or are you promoting something else? Tell me. It's just so annoying. The female sergeant who went to TikTok and made a video saying she couldn't uphold the oath because of Roe versus. I've seen that. I try to stay away, like I always say, like I try to stay away from the average everyday person because defamation lawsuits and all that crap. These people that are okay with like mocking people, average everyday people that you're just asking to be sued. There's another soldier who went on Instagram and was crying because she might be sent to Ukraine. Oh my God. Wait, how's that even possible? How she might be sent to Ukraine? How is that even possible? I thought like you're not supposed to say that, and B, we're not there. At least we forget the recruits who engaged in constant TikTok dances. I would cry too. Derek, you need some twins Chinese girls to Come on, man. Sometimes when I read these things, I'm like, what? Because there were no weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. Hey, how dare you there? That's one of the bitch slaps of truth. John Scott, freedom. You forgot to put bruv. Freedom, bruv. You're from UK, right? I think so. Freedom, bruv. The fact that most teenage boys these days have the testosterone levels of man in their late 70s is alarming. Yes. That's not talked about enough. A lot of it's due to poor diet and non-exercising. If you're not, and especially lifting weights, there is men, we need to lift weights, all right? Don't just run on the treadmill. Screw all that stuff. Add running if you want, but you need to be lifting weights. There's just so many studies about A, it's good for longevity, and B, it raises your testosterone level more than just going for a jog. And it's better weight loss to lift weights than it is actually jogging. We stayed in this country for 20 years. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay. Yes, bro. Bro, governor, who would be acceptable to soy? Hey, don't call me soy, dude. I'm Fat Walsh. Let's finish this clip.
We have got to make sure that we are careful about not alienating, wide swaths of the American public to the Army.
Why that shouldn't be your number one priority is making sure you make everyone feel comfortable enough to join. The entire appeal of the military, at least it was for me growing up, was that it was a hard task and it was a sense of accomplishment, a sense of overcoming the impossible or doing what no one else wants to do. There was that sense of that American patriotic pride. But now it's like, we got to be welcoming here. We gotta make sure. Well, they're desperate, but they're making themselves look weak. They should. There is a psychological thing that happens when you tell somebody if you want to be a part of my club, you have to. It's very exclusive and hard to get in, and you're going to have to overcome a lot of things, but it's a very exclusive club and a lot of prestige. Do you want to be a part of it? People will say yes. If you just say, I welcome everybody. If you want to come. That'd be cool if you come, but whatever. That doesn't psychologically, the one that seems harder to be a part of, especially like driven people, then that's the people you want in the military. They need that feeling. They need a sense of accomplishment. If it's just like, whatever, you just like be a part, go get a job in the corporate world. You'll make more money, and you'll be in charge of your life. And you can grow beard. You can grow your hair out. You can get tattoos on your face, and you can still be in the corporate world today. Like, the military is trying to be corporate, but with shitty pay. It's not worth it. Ring Tang. Hello, Earthlings. How's everyone going? Hope everyone's going good. By the way, again, this is my last stream for the rest of the week. I am hosting a bunch of my family that are libtards. And I don't want them to get triggered. I'm just kidding. I don't care. And the whole vaccination status, like the forcing people to do these things. Army, no place for woke BS. No. People can do that in corporate world, in the corporations, because corporations, they're all about trends. And if something's trendy right now, like being woke or supporting some kind of agenda, they will do it because they want to make money. They don't care about like you as a person. They just want to make money. It's like if there was a wave of Christianity being like moral and upstanding, they would do that too. They would flip on a dime. That's why it's so important to get engaged and only buy things that you support because they're watching and they're paying attention. You've triggered me by not having a show after tonight. I'm sorry. That's why I'm Fat Walsh. Someone's calling me. You know, freaking Fat Walsh, dude. See, parents are calling me. Oh, God. One of these days, I got to get a new I got to get like a real camera. Actually, my libtard dad is calling me. He knows I'm talking about him. God. God. It's just real life over here, people. This is a real show, all right? This is the only show I know of that is live, no script, all... It's trying to be as engaging as possible. It was like the guy last night said, not funny show, try to be funnier. Corporations are allowed to do anything they want. That's why Twitter needs to remain firmly in the hands of the Yes, they saw your stream and like, yeah, I know, my family did. They're like, stop talking about me. Sorry.
So I think, I
want to finish the rest of this because I feel like this is insane. How's your caveman survival skills? Dude, mine are good.
To the Army. So I think, we absolutely want our general officers out on social media, but they need to exercise good judgment. They need to be positive and...
I refuse to show my leftist parents anything I've done. Okay, so my parents are divorced, but my dad is very liberal and old school liberal, but is flirting with progressive leftism. And he used to listen to my show and then just stopped. So that should tell you everything. And we don't really talk about it ever. He never brings it up. So whatever. He heard that I was doing a podcast and he wanted to check it out. And then after that, that was like
factual about what the Army offers, but not, I think, get drawn into, frankly, some of the inflammatory kind of environment that, frankly, Twitter really lends itself to.
Oh, is that what you're calling for a little censorship on Twitter because your Army officers can't handle it right now? Is that what's going on? Dear God. Some of it almost funny sometimes. I almost laughed at it once. Hey, if you're laughing at your own self and your own videos, you're doing something right. And you're enjoying it. Haters gonna hate. The show rocks. Hey, John, I appreciate you, man. That means a lot. This guy, the guy your mother told was your father, you mean? The guy your mother told was your father? I'm so confused. Pickles, how we feeling? The guy your mother told was your father? Will Elon buy Twitter? No one knows. The whole Twitter and Elon thing, like, it seems like a conspiracy theory at this point. It's like... Or it reminds me of like high schoolers attempting to date one another. There's like, I like you. Just kidding. I don't really like you. I'm breaking up with you. Oh my God. You don't love me like you used to. I'm done with you. Leave me alone. Oh my God. I love you again. It just seems like it's like the most insane back and forth. And now I just feel like we just need to sit and wait and watch it all unfold. I don't know what's going on. It's almost like QAnon. It's like we're waiting for Elon to finally unveil what's truly happening in Twitter. Twitter rejected. They constantly reject it. They constantly are like, okay, we want this. Now we don't want this. Homes are free in trading. Also, I've said too much. No more questions, please. The Twitter versus Elon Musk battle is one of the funniest things I've ever seen on colorized version of Casablanca. Yes. Honestly, if you're not laughing at the whole Elon thing, I don't like, you gotta be at this point because it makes no sense. Like, Don't get excited. It almost seems like it's almost like a perfect case of stock market manipulation, you know? Just get John Scott is stoned. Dude, you're crazy. Hi, Derek said, may I invest in Kleenex? Yes. I'm bringing a new audience. My mom, my brother are watching. Cords, thank you so much. I appreciate you on Rumble. Holding down the Rumble. Ring Sting, I appreciate that, unfortunately. But the whole Elon and Twitter thing seems like a perfect case of market manipulation. I just feel like they are all playing options. Like they're like, okay, we're going to pretend like we want Elon to buy Twitter. Everyone buy call options right now. And then they make a bunch of money. And then they're like, okay, Elon, actually, we're not going to allow you to buy it. And then they buy a bunch of puts. And they're just like banking off of everyone's excitement or depression. Back and forth. Iran is full of stone. Oh my God, pickles. Iran. All right. Do you guys watch Jon Stewart at all? He's got a new show called The Problem with Jon Stewart, which is essentially, it's essentially The Daily Show, and he's pretending to be something different. What about Ye getting banned from Twitter? I talked about that last night. I am still confused about the whole Ye thing. I know he said DEFCON 3, which is, negative connotation, but it just seems like he's like announcing, I'm going to say something that's incredibly racist right now. I'm going to say something incredibly racist tomorrow. And then they just like preemptively was like, oh, okay, well, if you're going to announce you're going to say something racist, we're going to take you down. I genuinely don't understand. What if he was just going to talk about how great Jews are? Like, I don't know. I know it has like a negative connotation and it's negative, but it just seems so silly. Like, plus, I'm in the position that I think racists should be allowed to talk, because then we will know that they're racist. And then we can like stay away from them instead of just like canceling them. And then you're like, oh, now I got to look them up and I want to know everything about them. Ring Sing says, when the end is near, we will pick you up and you can live on our planet. No mustard. Dude, Ring. Anyways, you mean John Lebowitz? Is that his real name for real? Okay, but he has been talking about the gender binary thing. And I'm sorry that I'm going to have to play this and pause this every once in a while due to copyright strikes and stuff like that. The problem with Jon Stewart is Jon Stewart lives. That's so messed up. Every once in a while, y'all's chat like the tech. That was the whole video. Again, that completely changed my mind. What? Wait. Now let's go through some of the comments. Are friendships so fragile these days? Yes. If my friend was supporting this, I don't think I want my kids hanging out with them. Duh. Well, I have no experience with the trans or little, but I have somewhat similar experience. 99% of the world said I am mentally disabled. I know that I am different, but I don't feel disabled. Strange. Humans seem to have a desperate drive for absolute conformity. When you listen to someone to get to know who you are and get the past labels, so we have an obsession with being different in today's culture. That's the biggest problem. People think like if you label yourself as other, that makes you more important than the normies or whatever. This wasn't interesting. This was stupid. How was that interview interesting? Thank you. Love you, John. How is that interesting? Dislike. Like, how is that interesting? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Was that interesting to you? Did you guys feel like you learned a lot during that segment? That's called the pyramid of oppression. Oh, there you go. Yes, friendships are fragile. I had friends who cut ties with me because I didn't want to take an injection. Exactly. He's got me hooked on that show. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm here for that, man. I'm here to help you. It's sad how conservative somehow means satanic devil worshipping devil worshiper. Exactly. We have an obsession with being special. Everybody wants to be somebody. Everybody wants to be recognized for being different. It's never supposed to be that. Well, people have created entire personalities off of who they have sex with, their sexuality, their gender, like their entire personality, as if that is like them in the whole nutshell. Like you can no longer just like go up and call somebody by their name. Like if my name is Fat Walsh, which it is, you can't just go up and call somebody by their name. You have to also ask for pronouns all of a sudden. Like, I don't care about your pronouns. I just want to call you by your first name. Is that cool? I thought that they're like, no, this is the new religion. You must know my pronouns first before you talk to me. No, I just want to call you your name. No, but call me my name. But also, no, when you refer to me as not my name. I'm very special. My 93 different personalities say so. Exactly. The problem is that these idiots don't want to put forth effort into being special. They trick themselves into thinking they have The problem... I lost friends for simply traveling in June in 2020. That's nuts, Fei. This also hurts a lot of real mental disability, real mental illness, and also people that need to see a counselor. And they've created this they've tried to quarter the market in anxiety and depression. I don't know. We're just in like a crazy world. All right. This is, I got another clip queued up. This is my last clip, of Piers Morgan. Also, again, if you want to call my show and be a part of the Sunday show, you can call me or you can text me or leave me a message or leave me a video. You could leave me a video that I could play. But here's the number, 872-240-2407. Be there, be square. You know what I mean? There it is. Call me out. Who would have thought that the two old men in their 70s could maintain an election for so long? You got me, dude. You freaking got me. All right, here's Piers Morgan. I don't know if you've been following Piers Morgan and what's going on with Piers Morgan, and he just had Jordan Peterson on, and then he had Andrew Tate on, and now he is bringing in a panel of people to discuss the Me Too movement and feminism. So this could be interesting. Created more mental illness and kids locking them down. 100%. No one wants to talk about that. You created loneliness and depression and anxiety. You created social anxiety with kids that don't know social cues right now. And that, as a kid, those are very important times to develop those, Andrew Dice Clay. Andrew Dice Clay. Are you talking about me? Are you talking about me, Andrew Dice Clay? Andrew Dice Clay is me. It's me right here, Andrew Dice Clay. I call people by their name. Everyone else gets a special name like asshole. Yeah, exactly. All right. I think this might be interesting.
Welcome back to Piers Morgan on Censor Revelations.
Though I can't stand Piers Morgan. I think anybody that invites somebody on their show and then lectures them is the worst. I just can't take them.
About disgrace.
I mean, it just tells me your ego is so fragile that you're just like, if you're coming on my show, you better think rightly, and you better know that I'm the smartest person on the show. Not you, me.
Movie director Harvey Weinstein's abuse of women sparked a global reckoning with predatory male behavior. But 5 years on from what became known as the Me Too movement, there's a growing backlash. Some influential people.
Rule number 32, never have Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson on your show for an intellectual battle. You will lose. Maybe not necessarily with Andrew Tate, but Jordan Peterson will take you to the coals. He will burn you. The guy was a Harvard professor at one point. Maybe just set this one out and ask questions like a normal human being. It's really important to make sure that you really examine the billboards for the election candidates before you vote. Last election, I ended up voting for a real estate agent. Good. But you get
it's become divisive, pitting the sexes against each other with an assumption of male guilt, leaving many young men feeling marginalised. Recently, you've had two people at the forefront of that backlash, albeit with very different styles and rationales. He's psychologist Dr. Jordan Peterson.
People have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. You know, what a terrible thing to do that is.
And earlier this week, I spoke to Andrew Tate, the so-called toxic male influencer who's now banned from social media. The full explosive interview airs tomorrow night, but here's a little taster of that.
I believe that confident, strong men who stand up and protect and provide for women are a good thing for the world and a good force for the world. And I don't think that I put a magic spell on anybody. I think there's a whole bunch of men in the world who understands my value. And if men grow up to be like me, you're going to have a whole bunch of people with no criminal record, dedicated athletes, who protect and provide for the people close to them, are fantastic for the economy, and I'm certainly not the worst.
Oh no! I've seen Jordan Peterson cry a few times, but people just noticed the last time he cried. That's what enthralls me of Jordan Peterson. He just seems like a genuine person that cares because the way he shows emotion and the way he slows down and processes questions and thinks things through, and I think it's beautiful. I love it. I would love to be an older gentleman at that age and still care and not be like a grumpy a-hole, you know? I would love to age gracefully like that. I think that's beautiful and amazing, and I hope to be like that. I feel bad for Jordan Peterson. He wants to have a generation of lost youth to have a voice on their behalf. Jordan Peterson is a revolutionary for that reason. The fact that he is not as celebrated as he is shows you how big of a revolutionary he is, because he's challenging the status quo. And that's why the people that hate him, those are the people that are not your friends. Those are the useful idiots in the revolution.
Influence out here, Piers.
Well, clips of both of those interviews have exploded online. Literally millions of people have been viewing them. Jordan Peterson, for example, the whole interview has been viewed 5.5 million times on our YouTube channels, rightly or wrongly. There's clearly
I just want to slap him for saying that. Rightly or wrongly that people viewed it? No. Rightly. People are interested in what he has to say. How about that? I can't stand when these people try to be like the middle ground when it's not. But the words in which he phrased that is not being middle ground. It seems very negative. Papa says, I never heard Andrew Tate until he got booted from social media. I saw Andrew Tate a lot on TikTok. The fact that he wants males to grow to be men isn't toxic. It's the things that has been for eons, nothing to do. There are some things that Tate says that like you're just like question, but I understand what he's saying when he says it. He's not as eloquent as somebody like a Jordan Peterson. Cords on Rumble says, Jordan is another hero for freedom. Yes. But Andrew Tate isn't that insane. You know, there are more insane things on hip-hop songs or more insane things on channels these days. To act like he is like... he needs to be barred from, like, banned from society and cast away from society is so ridiculous. These people just pick and choose people willy-nilly. If they say anything slight or if they don't have a big enough following or they're new or something like that, they will take them down, especially if they gear their message towards young men. If you gear it towards women twerking, you are seen as a revolution, like you are welcomed, and that should tell you everything.
Huge groundswell of interest, at the very least, in their views, if not support. So was Me Too an overdue reckoning, or has it become a damaging battle in a raging culture war? Isabel still with me, plus political journalist Ava Santino, conservative commentator, a young man who agrees with Peterson and Andrew Tate, Connor Thomason. Connor, welcome to the show. Let me start with you. I found it very interesting interviewing Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate, both very controversial characters in different ways, both positioned as a kind of kings of toxic masculinity. I certainly didn't think Jordan Peterson was that.
Andrew Tate, Papa says Andrew Tate gets booted from social media. Meanwhile, the Taliban has an active Twitter page. Yeah, and Ayatollah, Iran. I mean, again, yeah, there's no logic.
And when it came to Andrew Tate, I couldn't really conclude after 90 minutes of grilling him. I gave him quite a hard time. I couldn't really conclude what he had done that was so bad that he had to be expunged from social media life altogether. But it showed me the sensitivity around all this, that if any man now behaves in a way that looks like it's toxic masculinity, bang, they're expunged. Is in that process...
There it is. That is the line. If any man looks like they behave this way, if they look, if they feel, it's not actually what they do or what they say. It has everything to do with how they appear. That's incredible. What an incredible statement. I wonder if he even knew that he's like, it seems like he knew, but you never know.
Masculinity itself getting expunged and demonized.
I would say so. I mean, I'm sure that you'll have this experience with your own relationships, Piers, in that women, if you say something controversial, whether it's something on the Peterson side of the spectrum or on the Tate side of the spectrum, a little bit more explosive or a little bit more academic, some women are very much drawn to a man who can be a bit more confrontational, say exactly what he thinks. It's the verbal new version of what gladiators used to do in the arena way back when.
Well, certainly, I think Ava and Isabel are laughing because they know that they're drawn to me in that way because of my combative nature. But Ava, you're smirking and laughing. I mean, there's a serious point here. A lot of young men...
Papa says, give me a valid definition for toxic masculinity. If you do, I'll give up my quest to steal Derek's stash of Zima. Toxic masculinity is any man that is more aggressive than me. I feel like that's their definition. If you're more aggressive than me in any stature or any imagination, that's what toxic masculinity is. You need to be submissive and bow before me. Bow before thy. And let me place thy boot on thy bosom.
Feel they're getting disenfranchised by society. They're all being over-demonized. That any attempt to be the traditional...
All toothpaste ads have been banned. Apparently people have no teeth, are extremely offended. Yes.
Male figure is now being rubbished and called toxic.
Well, I mean, if you really felt that and you really went out there and you were an alpha male, then you wouldn't be bothered about a bunch of women telling you that you were...
Well, you would if you get cancelled, like Andrew Tate. If you get banned from...
I mean, he's hardly been cancelled. He was on your programme, which is on national television.
But it's the only platform, actually, he's had for a long time because all the social media companies...
I hate that rhetoric. He's not really cancelled, is he? He's on your show. How do you... Okay, this is when the conversation becomes disingenuous and you just got to throw it away. Anytime somebody starts bringing in La La Land facts, you just got to be like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. We're done having this conversation. We're not going anywhere. You're not teaching me anything new. We're just going to be, you know, we're going to make nothing. We're going to make up things. The quest is on. Expect me when you least expect me.
He's banned him, literally banned him. He had his email gone, his Google gone, his Facebook gone. It all went down like dominoes.
Well, he's still on there, very, very prolific on there. I can't move for clips of him.
Yeah, but they're not generated by him now.
Well, but that's been for quite some time.
But should he be punished that way?
But what is punished? What is punished?
Punished is where companies take a decision which, in my...
Are we doing like insane rhetoric in today's culture? It's just...
view in this case was perverse because they still allow...
Papa says, maybe I'm wrong on this one, but if women hate alpha males, then the Chad meme Chad meme is based on us. It's based on... I think it's more men like that meme, but yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. A total Chad.
For example, the Ayatollah of Iran to have a Twitter account.
Yes.
So there's no consistency here at all.
Well, but however, we love a bit of free market. I'm sure you do, judging by that too, which is lovely. But you know, social media companies are private companies.
You're not objectifying,
they can do whatever
I'll take all the objectification I like.
Of course you will, yeah. All right, Isabel.
But Ava, your point about, you know, if men were that alpha, then they wouldn't be that bothered by this, doesn't really help us when it comes to boys growing up. And that is one of my worries, that for teenage boys now, they are so terrified of the consequences of putting a foot out of line. It's hard enough being a young teenager, working out how things are, working out how to...
Yeah, what a freaking insane statement that is. I mean, that's a good reason why so many people are walking around with such high anxiety all the time. People are so concerned about saying the wrong thing. I know people would push back and say, what's wrong with that? We should be thinking about what we say. And yes, that's 100% correct. But the things in which people are concerned about saying correctly in today's culture compared to 20 years ago are ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Does anybody else see the steam coming out of their ears? I have it. I can't think of a few things, the stuff. Oh my God.
Dating and all of that, without the terror that if you touch in the wrong place at the wrong time, you may find that your whole life is destroyed.
I
and there
like
is
that
far
terror.
too much. Well, I
like that.
As a
I
mother
think
of
that
a
men
teenage
should be
boy, I
frightened.
don't like that terror.
Right. I love how a bunch of people in their 40s and 50s feel like they're experts on teenage problems. I mean, I guess they're probably parents, but yeah, I totally know what you mean. Or that they know about internet culture. And probably the people in the middle and then the dude probably do. And I don't know. But Piers Morgan's not on TikTok. Let's just be real.
I
That's
do.
the delicious thing I've ever heard.
That is
I think that
awful.
men should be frightened.
Wait, what did she just say?
That if you touch in the wrong place at the wrong time, you may find that your whole life is destroyed.
See, I
and there
like
is
that
far
terror.
too much. Well,
I like that.
As a
I
mother
think
of
that
a
men
teenage
should be
boy, I
frightened.
don't like
Really?
that
That's
terror.
the
I
most
do.
delicious thing I've ever heard.
That is
I think that
awful.
men should be frightened
I think
to
you'd
touch
feel
women in a way
differently
that
if you
they're
were,
not
if you
comfortable
were.
with.
But we're talking about
Yeah, but we're not
teenage
talking
years,
about. We're not
children.
talking about.
We're talking
yeah, but
about
it's an
young
interesting
children.
thing that you see. I would say that attitude actually is part of the problem too.
It
That
is.
is that's to me toxic femininity.
It is.
That is saying you should all be terrified, you men, if you put one.
Of assaulting.
Well, I think we all understand what sexual
What is
assault
an
is.
assault?
What Isabel's talking about is that young teenage clumsiness
really
in many
hard.
cases, which is now being recategorized as assault. Is that a problem?
It's not being recategorised as assault. It's always been assault. It's just we're finally talking about it.
I don't agree with that.
That's
But
ridiculous.
Teenage boy fumbling with
touch
teenage
on the
girl is
knee.
not,
Not
it's
even
not
that.
in most cases assault, is
Do
it?
you remember Aziz Ansari, right? Half the heels of Me Too, half the heels of Harvey Weinstein rightly being dragged through the courts, and it should have got way worse than just prison time, in my opinion. Aziz Ansari had a consensual relationship with a woman. She felt a bit awkward, and afterwards rescinded consent, and he was lumped in, and he had his
No,
career
I'm with you on that
largely
one.
cancelled.
I'm with
So
you.
then why should men be afraid of that?
Because he didn't touch her without consent, did he?
No, but she
But
rescinded his consent, and
how are
she
young
saw
boys
that then
supposed to navigate?
The whole consent thing, especially like when people talk about like going to parties, two people are drunk, do things they don't necessarily want to do or they want to do, and they're following their inhibitions and stuff like that. That's such a messy thing. You shouldn't, get drunk for one. But if you do, you assume the risk. It's like, but I'm not like saying like talking about rape. I'm talking about like, you share a moment in a hallway and then you kiss each other or something silly like that. And then there's like, oh, I didn't actually want you to kiss me. And you're like, well, I was drunk and you were drunk. Like there's more, as Gene Psaki says, there's more, Korean Jaren Abdul-Jabbar says, there's more nuance to this conversation than just, oh, by the way, 2 weeks ago when you kissed me when we were both drunk in the hallway, I now call that rape. You're just like, are you kidding me? What? Or like, with Brett Kavanaugh, oh yeah, like 20 years ago, you're just like, what? 20 years? I don't remember that. Joe's victims didn't consent. Joe who?
Navigate this, the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Oh, Joe Biden. God. I didn't think about that one for a second. Pickle.
I'm thinking
you
of
need to
my
have-
teenage son. He's 14, 15. What's he supposed to say? Would you mind if I put
Isabel,
my
you are an
hand- I mean,
extremely
come
strong
on,
woman. I
come
know
on.
in your house you're teaching them the difference between assault and then
Of
coming on
course,
to
of
someone.
course. But
I know you are.
But what we're talking about is it's been very interesting watching the Me Too movement and the Time's Up movement, how it's all developed. Because a lot of very bad people, Harvey Weinstein and others, got their due comeuppance. We can all agree with that.
Yeah.
This is not even something to be debated. We're really talking about the grey line, right? Where is that grey line?
Yeah.
How do you navigate it? When you're an experienced adult and you've been around the
Also, let's not pretend that like women don't get drunk and then force themselves on men. Like that's not a thing too. This goes both ways.
block in many ways, you can navigate that much more intelligently and with emotional.
John Scott, they were talking about why Tate should be banned, and it twisted to rape. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Good call. Good call. we went from Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson to men shouldn't rape women. You're like, yeah, we all agree this is true. Rule 52, if you have loudly proclaim that you are a strong individual, odds you're probably not. 100%. 100%. Or if you tell people that you're an alpha male, you're probably not an alpha male. Imagine these women when cavemen ruled the earth. Yeah. Or Vikings.
intelligence than you can if you're a teenage boy. And I think the point Isabel makes is a good one. I've had 3 sons in their 20s. I've always taught them to be respectful to women, and I believe they are. But I do think it's really hard for a 16, 17-year-old boy now in this environment to know even how to start
they are all
having some kind of physical relationship with a woman.
Those good boys are all terrified. I know that from talking to my son. He's just like, I'm just not going there. Is that healthy?
Yes, I think it is, actually. I think it's better to not have a physical relationship than to have one that could ruin a woman's life.
But then...
Oh, God, she's the worst. How do you not understand that, like, a whole generation of incel men that are just afraid to make advances in a woman, and so instead they go home and are addicted to porn, or they, you know, I feel like this is a part of the whole, like, you know, so many genders now is because people are just, like, so uncomfortable around each other that they are better off being... an incel or celibate, or, you know, have sex with a doll or something insane like that. Like, this is the feminist created hell. I always like with these movements, like, you know, it starts out like in good terms, but then people who have been traumatized or hurt by men take it on, and then they bring their pain into this conversation and make it worse. And that's what's happened. That's what happened in this conversation. That's why when people actually address it with a calm head and try to think things through and want to do the best, those people are cast aside as seen as like strange or insane or conspiracy theorists. When men touch a woman, it's considered assault. When women inappropriately touch a man, it's considered a compliment. Yes. Yeah. Or you should just deal with it and it's okay. Traditional family values were established with a club. It's not rape if they can't... Oh, God.
How do they ever start?
Well, don't. If you're not 100% sure, don't.
What are you going to have? A bunch of neutered boys who never had...
So obvious.
We actually do have that. Gen Z is having far less sexual relationships than any...
They are, it's true. And young people have stopped having sex.
I agree with the first...
And I completely understand why. It's not even that. It's like kissing, dating. It's not worth it to a lot of these young men because they just like, you know what? I'm afraid to engage. Gotta go. Great show. Don't forget to ring mom and dad. Have a great time away later. Hey, Ring Sting, appreciate you, man. Take it easy. Feminists need to create a word salad for a simple explanation because deep down inside they know that just like Taco Bell, Patron, full of shit and regret. Yes. This is a complete word salad, and this is a complete circle. You know, this is like anybody with an IQ over 50 could take this argument down. And that's the problem. And that's why it always jumps to an emotionally based argument, because they themselves don't actually believe what they're saying, but they feel like what they're saying is true. And that's why so much of what goes on in our politics today and anything culturally is completely emotionally based, and people are losing their freaking minds over simple ideas. Clip that one. Feminists need to create a word salad. Sorry. Hey, I'm in my late 30s and I don't see the point in dating. It's not worth it. I completely understand, man. I completely understand. It's hard, man. It's hard. That's why it's important to, find a significant other doing things you like, or, at church, or with like in friend groups or in social circles, and not just do the whole dating app thing, because you don't know who you're talking to. You're just like, oh, this person's hot. I'm just getting it.
First part of your sentence, actually. If you're not willing to have a sexual relationship with...
John Scott, very true. I agree. Thank you.
Clearly defined lines, don't have one. And so I actually told my mates at university, don't sleep around with girls. 1, girls don't bring a guy home that you don't know what he's capable of. 2, guys, don't bring a girl home if you think that possibly she could have a false accusation against you.
Can I make another point here?
Which I find, look, that sentence to me, when I was your age, right? How old are you?
23.
23. When I was your age, the idea you would even have that sort of thought...
That guy is 23?
Thought process.
Yeah, I wouldn't have those sort of mates.
Papa says, quitting dating apps was one of the best decisions I ever made, and that's buying a PlayStation 3. There you go. Hey, there you go. Good, man. Good for you, man. I don't know.
That would...
Can I make another point? I don't know. Can you?
Ever cross the line, so I wouldn't have to have that conversation with any of my friends.
Don't throw my mates in with a bunch of violent people.
And is there a certain purity here I'm detecting in a certain?
Oh wait. Okay, so she gets like angry, and then watch her smile when she mocks his friends. She's like, "Yeah, take that."
I wouldn't have to have that conversation with any of my friends.
Don't throw my mates in with a bunch of violent people.
And is there a certain purity?
Look at that smile.
Here I'm
That's an
detecting
evil
in
smile.
a certain type of feminist who thinks that they're all unimpeachable.
Everyone would be
all
left
one-way
Kim in, yes.
traffic, and that only men can be toxic.
No, I
because
don't
I've got to enlighten you. I've met quite a few women in my life who are pretty toxic themselves, and I don't see the debate being framed
maybe once
around
on the
that
couch.
at all.
No, but the point is that we're still in a situation where only 5% of rape cases actually even go to trial.
Which is ridiculous.
But that's the extreme end of it, isn't it? You're talking about rape here.
David, we can all agree that's wrong. We can all agree that's wrong.
But okay, so even on the extreme end of it, rape doesn't even go
Pablo.
to trial. If you're assaulted, and that is life-changing.
Yeah.
What happened to Rose McGowan
Yeah.
with Harvey
I
Weinstein
know Rose well.
was
Yeah, but these are
life-changing,
extreme
and
things.
she didn't get her comeuppance.
Yeah, but Ava,
She
we'd
lost
all
her
agree about
career.
that. Well, I think what has sent a shudder through.
This is like the abortion debate. They just like take one small faction of the debate or the idea for it, and then they make it their entire argument. And then if you concede it and go, you know what Harvey Weinstein did was horrible. I think he should go to jail. I think he should get his wiener cut off. Like what? Like that's what. Like I think all these horrible things should happen to him. And then they're like, and so you both agree, and they're just like, yeah, but this, and you're like, then why even say it? Why even say the thing that we both agree on? Why even say the thing that's a fringe idea that most people agree on anyway? Because it's emotion. Because it's the most emotional part of their argument. And so they say it as a way of saying, hey, look at me. What I'm saying is important. So important that I'm using emotional language so that you cut off your brain and you listen to what I have to say right now. Because what I am saying is the most important thing, because I'm I have the most emotional language, and listen to the tone of my voice. What I'm saying is saying things with authority and not necessarily, like, it's just freaking A. How many are not reported to police? Exactly. A lot. And that's sad. If you are raped, if you have anything like that happen to you, you need to report it. But this is why abuse and PTSD and things like this go under the radar, because people that are actually abused, people that have been raped, have horrible trauma and stuff like that, they struggle coming forward because it's real trauma. And to even acknowledge what happened is reliving the past. And that's why a lot of them don't come forward. And that's the unfortunate reality. But we can all agree that rape is bad. I'm sick of other tax dollars paying for life sentences, let alone keeping a murderer alive. I can completely understand that logic. I'm not for the death penalty. That's just not my thing. Because I'm a Christian. I'm not saying that you can't be Christian. I always feel like people have a chance to come back around, but with rape and incest, maybe get your wiener cut off. Or with rape, maybe get your wiener cut off. How about that? But then it's like, again, it's like, what if it's disproven, or what if they were lied and they were convicted falsely? It's just a tough conversation to say that, like, oh, I think all rapists should get their wieners cut off and go to jail for the rest of their life. What if the girl lied and it turned out DNA showed that she was lying all along, and then you don't have a wiener anymore? You know, it's such a. That's why you just got to be careful with your statements sometimes. I don't know. Guillotines are cheap and ego-friendly.
All of our spines from your mouth today is the line that all young men should be terrified of any physical contact. Well, no, you didn't say it like that. You said basically of starting any physical contact with a woman.
Unless you're sure.
How does a 16-17-year-old boy know
when she can rescind consent on something completely nebulous?
Okay, can I ask you this? If you were going to take someone to bed and you weren't 100% sure that they wanted to go to bed with you, would you go with them?
No, I would not do that.
Then
But the
that's what
point
I'm
was,
talking
Aziz
about.
Ansari was sure, for example, and then later she went and published a long piece about how she regretted it and lumped him in with Harvey Weinstein.
I mean,
Is that okay?
Ava, do you feel any of it, Ava's gone too far? Do you think the pendulum
solar, wind, or electric chair
has gone too far at all?
No, I don't think it's gone far enough, actually.
Really?
I don't think we've brought anything into schools. To your point, we haven't brought any teaching into school about what is assault, what isn't. If you're worried about, like, 16-year-old boys not understanding what it is, bring in sexual health lessons. Teach it.
The idea,
I can't do this anymore. It's just so, like, we're talking in circles. Plus, I got to go to dinner with some friends. Pickle, that might be the most, might require some research. Yeah, exactly. Hey, guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining me tonight. I appreciate you joining me for Fat Walsh Mondays. That should be a thing. I'm going out of town as a reminder, and I will be gone for the rest of the week. I might have videos posted on YouTube, share it with your friends, but I will not be doing a live stream. So tell your friends and family about this show, and I appreciate you guys for joining me. I will be back next Sunday, so come hang out with me. Come party with me next Sunday. Love from England. Hey, appreciate you. Appreciate you, bruv. I got love for my English brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Show us your teeth. Good times as always, dude. Papa, I appreciate you, man. Papa, I appreciate you. John Scott, I appreciate you. Shane Out Being Fringe. Montana, I appreciate you. Censor Mom, I appreciate you. Chords on Rumble, I appreciate you. And when I Ring Sting, I appreciate you. Pickles, I appreciate you. I want to make sure I get them all. Faye, I appreciate you. Brendan, I appreciate you. Okay, I think I got all of them. Zima, Bandit, Zima for life. If you ain't down with the Zima cause, I don't know. I got to get a better sticker than that. It's just so ridiculous. But I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys mean so much to me. Zima isn't worthy of your mouthwash. That's true. But tell your friends and family about my show. Drop a like on this. Make sure you subscribe and all that stuff. You can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter. I might have a problem with Twitter, but come follow me on Twitter. Have a great day, guys, and a good rest of the week. I'll be back next Sunday. So this Sunday coming up. So come hang out with me and tell everybody what's going on. But I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. You guys are the best people on the earth. Don't let anybody tell you differently. We're going through a lot of hard times right now. We have crazy things going on right now with politics and stuff like that. Know that this show is a show that tries to cut through all the BS and try to laugh at all the craziness going on. And know that I actually care about you guys. I'm not one of these shows that doesn't care about their viewers. I genuinely care because your life is worth it. Every single chatter has a name and has a story, and you guys are the best. And when I go to Piers Morgan, I'm going to talk about how much I love you guys. But I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you on Sunday. Tell your friends and family about the show. Love you guys. Bye.